Welcome to Flashback Daily, our explainer of historical turning points. Today, we're zooming in on the profound impact of just one single date on the calendar, July 12th. Most of us go through our year treating each day as just another 24 hours. But when you stop and actually stack up history date by date, you start to see these wild patterns. It's like individual days act as hinges that the whole door of history swings on. So, today we're going to unpack exactly why the events of July 12th matter so incredibly much to the world we live in right now.
So, what on earth connects the Roman Empire, the legendary rock band the Rolling Stones, and America's highest military decoration, the Medal of Honor? I know, it sounds exactly like the setup to a really strange joke, but the answer is just time. Specifically, this exact day in history. As you'll see, these isolated moments, separated by literal centuries but all unfolding on July 12th, rippled out to shape our modern world in ways that are just totally staggering.
Okay, let's dive into this timeline. First, we'll hit ancient sieges and holy lands, then empires, nations, and wars. After that, we're looking at public health and pop culture, followed by rights, riots, and representation. And finally, births shaping the world.
All right, part 1, ancient sieges and holy lands.
Our journey kicks off way back in the year 70 CE, right in the thick of the dust and chaos of a grueling 6-month siege. It was on July 12th that the Roman army, commanded by Titus, finally managed to breach the defensive walls of Jerusalem. Now fast forward a bit to 1191 CE, another July 12th, and we see the conclusion of the siege of Acre during the Third Crusade. 2 massive sieges, centuries apart, but both absolutely crucial turning points.
And this brilliantly illustrates just how massive the fallout was. See, before 70 CE, Judaism was almost entirely defined by temple-centered worship in Jerusalem. But after those walls fell, it completely transitioned into rabbinic Judaism and triggered the widespread Jewish diaspora. Plus, early Christians interpreted this destruction as a fulfillment of biblical prophecy, which profoundly influenced early Christianity. So this singular moment on July 12th literally shaped the geographical spread and the theological development of 2 major world religions as we know them today. Crazy, right?
Then jump forward centuries later to 1191, and July 12th struck again. The Muslim leader Saladin surrendered the city of Acre, which allowed Crusader forces, led by Philip II of France and eventually joined by Richard I of England, to sweep in and take control. Now, this wasn't just another battle won. It restored a Christian foothold in the Holy Land, heavily intensifying conflicts that would go on to dictate Middle Eastern borders and politics for literal centuries.
Moving right along to Section 2, Empires, Nations, and Wars.
Jumping ahead into the 19th and 20th centuries, we hit 4 incredibly distinct geopolitical milestones. And guess what? They all share the exact same date. We're talking everything from Napoleon's strategic maneuvers in 1806, straight through to the American Civil War era in 1862, major diplomatic treaties in 1920, and all the way to the fierce Eastern Front of World War II in 1943.
Let's unpack the global fallout of these milestones, because it's huge. Napoleon's 1806 reorganization essentially dissolved the Holy Roman Empire, totally setting the stage for modern Germany. Then, over in the States in 1862, America established the Medal of Honor, its absolute highest military decoration for bravery, a standard that continues to recognize extraordinary courage even today. And then in 1920, Soviet Russia, formally recognizing Lithuania's independence, became this absolutely vital diplomatic precedent that shaped the entire map of modern Eastern Europe.
By 1943, over the deafening roar of World War II's Eastern Front, July 12 forced a massive military shift. A decisive Soviet counteroffensive at the Battle of Kursk permanently stripped Germany of its ability to conduct large-scale offensives in the East. The strategic momentum permanently shifted right then and there. This specific July 12th turning point directly accelerated the eventual downfall of Nazi Germany.
Next up, Section 3, Public Health and Pop Culture.
Now, what's really interesting about this next milestone is that it can be defined by just one single word: millions. That is the number of lives saved because on July 12, 1957, U.S. Surgeon General Leroy Burney made it official, stating that cigarette smoking causes lung cancer. Think about that. This single announcement changed global public health policy forever. It led directly to warning labels, sparked worldwide anti-smoking campaigns, and by drastically reducing smoking rates, it protected literally millions of people over the decades that followed.
And on a vastly different cultural note, just 5 years later, on July 12, 1962, a micro-event happened that would echo through generations. The Rolling Stones played their very first public performance at London's Marquee Club. I mean, this wasn't just a regular gig. It was the explosive launch of one of history's most influential bands. That single night laid the groundwork for a group that has completely revolutionized rock music and inspired artists all over the globe for more than 6 decades.
Moving on to Section 4, Rights, Riots, and Representation.
July 12th is also this really powerful focal point for the fight for equality and self-determination. In 1967, the Newark riots exposed severe racial inequality in America, which forced these long-term national debates over policing and accelerated major urban policy reforms. Then, in 1975, São Tomé and Príncipe gained independence, marking the end of centuries of Portuguese colonial rule, a pivotal victory for the global decolonization movement. And jumping to 1984, Geraldine Ferraro made history as the first woman nominated for U.S. vice president by a major party. It was a massive milestone that totally shattered glass ceilings and opened up a whole new era of female political participation.
Let's move to Section 5 and see how this all builds. Births shaping the world.
It is absolutely staggering when you realize the caliber of visionary minds brought into the world on this exact day. You've got Henry David Thoreau in 1817, who fundamentally shaped the whole concept of civil disobedience. George Eastman in 1854, who founded Kodak and completely revolutionized how we capture our own history through photography. Then there's Pablo Neruda, born in 1904, the brilliant Nobel Prize-winning poet. And Malala Yousafzai in 1997, the Nobel laureate and just unstoppable global advocate for girls' education. Literature, photography, poetry, and global education. Entire facets of the human experience changed forever by individuals who all happen to share July 12th as a birthday.
You know, our world is constantly turning, and world-changing history is literally unfolding around us all the time, often in ways we can't fully comprehend until decades or even centuries later. As we've seen, July 12th isn't just some random square on a calendar. It is a day that dissolved empires, launched musical revolutions, shifted global borders, and saved millions of lives. So, knowing how much history can pivot in a single day, it makes you wonder, how will the events happening today, right now, shape our tomorrow? Thank you so much for exploring this with us, and keep questioning the history happening right in front of you.